All right, good morning, folks. So we have XRP and stocks continuing their rally into the Monday morning session. Let's get it started. It's a brand new week. I'm having a hard time taking myself serious as well with this Starbucks cup. This is so ridiculous. And if I told you what drink I got to, you would also be making fun of me. But we're going to have some coffee. We're going to take a look here at the markets. Let's run through it real quick. Before I get started, I want to share, though, we just dropped yesterday our first of many tactical wealth lessons, and this is exclusive for the Patreon community. If you want to get tapped in, this is over at my website, zachrector.com. And the first topic, the first wealth lesson, was on trusts. Been highly requested, and so I broke it down. It's a basics 101 session, about 25 minutes long, and that's the first of many for our community. And on top of that, we've been dropping our business development content. We got some new segments on that coming, and we've been talking about real estate deals along with private equity at a more intimate level, talking about specific deals. That's all at my website, zachrector.com. Let's get right into it, guys. So Bitcoin hanging out here at about 35,000. Ticks just below 35K as we're getting started here this morning. Ethereum back below 1900 and XRP absolutely stealing the show. Take a look at it, back up to 73 cents. Qcoin 4 hour. This is the 4 hour chart. USDT to XRP back up to 73 cents to start us off with a Monday morning pump. What do you say, folks? Absolutely love to see it. Absolutely massive. We ran up a session last night, big, long live show. If you guys missed it and you want to listen to me rant for an hour, we ran up a live show last night. XRP, God Candle, Settlement, and Swell, right? This is a big week for the XRP community, and we're getting a big pump for XRP. Now, this we've started to cool off here in the last hour or so. Back down to 71 cents right now at the time of this recording. But we're going to be watching this one closely along with your Bitcoin back down today, but hanging out here right below 35,000. Our DXY starting off the new week here and kind of just hanging out at that 105 level after we got absolutely cleaned out last week. Remember that move last week that we finished off? This really killed out that DXY following Jerome Powell saying that they are going to pause raising rates. Now, the 2 and the 10 are recovering here after they got killed last week as well. The 2-year and the 10-year treasuries back up. Oil back up. And this is off of the news that Saudi Arabia and a couple other countries are going to continue their voluntary oil production cuts. And so off of that news, we have oil back up. Silver is back down here today, but still hanging out at 23 bucks. And gold also taking a little hit today to start off the morning. Gold and silver both taking a little sad start for the week for them. But we are watching the stocks continue to rally as well for Nvidia. $455 Nvidia. It's been rallying strong ever since last week. Last week started the pump. Jerome Powell gave us the news that they were going to pause, and the S&P 500 had its best week of 2023 last week. Dow Jones hanging out at 34,100, and our overall cryptocurrency market cap cooling off a little bit again here today to get started. But as we've been talking about, XRP absolutely stealing the show, back up to 73 cents. Love to see it. Let's continue to watch this one closely. So I was looking at the front page of Market Watch, and you have a Morgan Stanley analyst right here who is saying that this rally is about to fizzle out in the next week or two. So he's calling this a bull trap rally for the stocks and the equities. I would have to agree, and we're going to be watching that. I think that I'm very patient right now, watching the overall cryptocurrency market. Bitcoin's had a great rally off of the spot, Bitcoin spot ETF fake news rally that took us all the way up to 30,000. Then it took us all the way up to about 36,000. And we still have no news of the spot ETF being approved. And I'm watching because this market's getting set up here once again. Now, we're seeing Treasury dealers still forecast another Fed rate hike, but not until January. These are your main headlines that we're seeing this morning coming out. And so there's still some folks that see the potential for the Fed to raise rates one more time. I think the Fed has to do it if they want to have any chance at even pretending like they're trying to battle inflation, which is starting to tick back up. Bridgewater's co-investment chief is saying forget U.S. stocks now, talking about the overvaluation. This rally that we're currently in doesn't make sense. And basically the equities market is pricing in everything going perfectly, is what she said. And then she said that she's actually taking a look at Japan's equity markets, which I found very interesting. I'll have to take a dive into that a little bit deeper. I know that the Japanese yen has been absolutely getting devalued big time lately. Their central bank is trying to do everything to backstop their economy, but apparently Bridgewater's co-investment chief does say that there's kind of a return to actually providing solid fundamentals and valuations and earnings, I should say, actually giving something to the investors after Japan had basically just been propped up here. That's something I'll have to look into further. Stock traders are too bullish, and that's bearish for the market. Yeah, I agree. I see it. Oil prices rise after Saudi Arabia and Russia extend production cuts. As I was saying, oil ticking back up this morning. The stock market is hot again. Earnings say be careful. Absolutely got to watch this. Now, front page of Wall Street Journal this morning is about Israeli military poised for battle for Gaza City. And we have a live update on the death toll. We have surpassed 10,000, the health authorities say. So right now we're watching on that border with Lebanon. They're being forced down into the southern part of Gaza near Egypt, but we're watching the border with Lebanon. This thing's really picking up, and it looks like the Israeli military is going to be moving in on Gaza here in a major way. And they're tightening their positions around Gaza City following one of the biggest aerial bombardments of the war and a temporary shutdown of communications in the enclave. So they've shut it down here once again. I continue to pray for peace. I really hope that this thing gets settled up. It has the potential to spread much further and get a lot more scarier. But we're just going to continue to pray for peace in that regard. Now, in regards to the banking failures, the second wave of bank failures is here. The banking crisis never really went away, cooled off temporarily, and we've been talking about this one for a while, but Joseph Brown shares that Citizens Bank was placed into FDIC receivership on November 3rd. This was the sixth bank failure this year. As interest rates stay high or move higher, any bank is at risk of failure if depositors simply decide to withdraw their money. Even without a run on the bank, many regional banks are at risk of failure due to the commercial real estate crisis that is sweeping the nation. As I've been saying, right, Bank of America, $131 billion of unrealized losses on their bonds. That doesn't include their exposure to commercial real estate as well. So this is going to be bad. If you have less than $250,000 with any single bank, you'll be fine. If you have more than that, you're not getting bailed out. You'll get bailed in. And remember, that's what they've changed now with the banking laws. The FDIC is not going to backstop this thing. They don't have the funds to do so. And what they've done now is they've changed the rules so that they can do a bail-in. Today, there are safer options for your cash than in the bank, and they pay better as well. Don't be a sucker and trust a system that has proven itself to be untrustworthy. I find myself going full conservative, full hedge, i.e. silver, cash. And then I find myself, when I'm looking to invest, I'm looking for the big moves. I'm looking for the big bags. And so I'm going heavy on risk, XRP, and my cryptocurrencies, right? And then I'm going to be looking at some other pre-IPO equity plays as well. That's high risk. And I'm not looking for the 5% safe play because inflation's more than 5% on anything that matters. So let's be real here. You got a lot of guys like this. I think this guy runs a channel. It's a pretty decent channel, Heresy Financial. Sure, you can tuck it into a 5% bond, but let's be honest with our real rate of return. Okay, because if we're just thinking that we're going to be happy as a clam making 5% risk free on a U.S. bond money market funds, right, that are returning you a decent return on paper, right, until you finish off the math and you realize that you're basically losing money still on your real rate of return on anything that matters. And so this is the problem: is there's no safety, and that's why you have to go to, in my opinion. I'm not here to be your financial advisor, tell you what to do, but for me, it's like, let's go full safe. Let's I mean, it costs $20 bucks, $25 right now on top of you're at $23 for your silver. You pay a little premium and you can pick up some silver for less than 25 bucks, 1 ounce. Right? It's very easy to make an investment in silver, and you don't have to be a big shot to pick up 1 ounce, to pick up a few ounces, right? You throw $100, you throw $200 at some silver and you pick some up, right? You throw a few $100 at it, pick up a 10-ounce bar, and you have an investment that's safe with no counterparty risk. And you don't need to get the promise of 5% from the U.S. government. What we have is a situation, as Rick Rule said, we don't invest in gold because we want it to go to 2100. We invest in gold because we're scared. We're worried that it's going to go to 6 to 8,000. Well, with silver, we're worried that it's going to go to 50 to $100 per ounce. Same thing with XRP. We're not worried. We don't want it to go to $7. We're worried that it's going to go to 589. You guys know the deal. And the bankruptcy filings continue for 3 straight quarters. The total U.S. bankruptcy filings have risen following a decade-plus decline per the U.S. courts. So this continues. Now, speaking of, in the court, getting exposed, I'm going to show you guys 2 different sides of the coin right now. Now, we're going to share this one right here with you from Balaji real quick before I get to sharing you Steven's comments. Balaji says, Congress blew him kisses, journalists gave him applause, regulators promised to take no action, so it was left to crypto Twitter that uncovered his deception. Read the actual history of what happened with Sam Bankman-Fried before it gets memory hold. And so, this is so true. It's said so well that Congress, the journalists, and the regulators in cahoots, as they are with this whole deal, Ethereum Free Pass included, and the Ethereum Free Pass being even bigger than what Sam Bankman-Fried did. And Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX is being called the biggest fraud in financial history. And to think that the Ethereum Free Pass was actually bigger. Now, we have this, and we have a response here from Steven Narioff. And it's so true. We can't let this get memory hold or buried behind some soft Netflix documentary that's going to paint him as really a good guy. He just didn't realize that his exchange was a Ponzi scheme. No, he knew the whole time, right? And he had the backing of the government, the regulators, and the journalists the whole way. Congress was getting paid off as well. And what Steven Narioff says right here, I got to be careful because Steven uses those words that we try to stay away from, but I'm going to read this off here. Steven says, this is happening, excuse me, this is happening on a historic level with Vitalik, Lubin, and company, the U.S. and foreign. Right? We were basically taken over from within and outside of this country. Foreign influence definitely there. Sam Bankman-Fried got smoked and covered because he's not one of us. This cabal has captured government and crypto. The decentralized sleuthing and evidence is overwhelming, yet nothing. This time you can't pat crypto on its back as it's in on it. Now, what you're seeing is the fact that they don't want to unravel this thing because it uncovers that the journalists, that Congress, and everybody else was in cahoots with Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX. And it's just like with SafeMoon and all these other projects that they're now going after. Why did you let it get so big? They let SafeMoon, an obvious, deal, get way out of proportion, blow way up to this huge ordeal. And then they let it go bust, and then the SEC shows up. Same thing that they're doing with Sam Bankman-Fried, and they don't dare talk about Ethereum because Ethereum's even bigger, and it exposes them even further, all the way up to the very top of the SEC, like Bill Hinman and others, as we've exposed, and they don't dare mention this, right? Now, this is the important part, but eventually this part you wrote will come to fruition. Quote, ever seen those superhero movies where Batman hunts down the villain and leaves him hogtied in cables for the police to mop up? That's what happened with Sam Bankman-Fried. The internet hunted down the fraud, collected indisputable evidence, and delivered him gift wrap to the government. Then everyone from Elon to India yelled online for a full month till the state finally, grudgingly picked him up. Like Batman, internet volunteers had delivered SBF to the police, hogtied and with indisputable evidence stapled to his chest. And that's exactly what we've done with the Ethereum Free Pass story as well. Now, like I said, now we get to an inflection point where we've won on this legal battlefield and the SEC has to surrender in defeat. And we're doing this right as XRP is pumping. Brad Garlinghouse is going to take center stage at DC FinTech Week, along with Gary Gensler is going to show up, and along with Mike Novogratz, one of the early Ethereum ICO participants, is going to show up and take stage as well. So it's a who's who of crypto regulations and law meeting on center stage with the Bank of International Settlement. Keeps on reminding us that they're going to be a host of the DC FinTech Week that's taking place here today and over the next 2 days. And this is our work coming to fruition. And now we're finally seeing it with some price action to reflect and to go along with it. And you absolutely love to see it. And on the other side of the pond, we have this taking place. Bank of England proposes allowing stablecoins as a payment option for goods and services. So don't get it twisted. We have the Elizabeth, I got a plan for that Warrens of the world that are trying to say that crypto's all bad, it's all nefarious, and the government needs to shut it down. But she never mentions CBDCs. She never mentions stopping stablecoins, right? It's all Bitcoin and it's all the rest of crypto. And I'm sure they would love to include XRP in that story, even though now we know, now we have the legal clarity. Now we've won on the legal battlefield. And now we have a bunch of real world utility that's separating us from the rest of the speculation space that is the crypto market up until now. 90% speculation, a little bit of utility. Now we get to see real utility, and we get to see utility as solving trillion-dollar problems. That's why the Ripple Roadshow is beginning. We have settlement potentially coming. We have swell after DC FinTech Week. Brad and the team's going to be hopping on the jet after they take the DC FinTech stage, and then they're going to be moving on over to Dubai, where they just got full legal clarity in Dubai. And basically throughout the Middle East region, we see ODLs already fired up there. We see Ripple now clear to fire up ODL back in the United States. Who's going to be the first U.S. institution to go live with XRP? Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this week, what you think about this pump. We absolutely love to see it. I'm remaining very patient, but let's continue to do our part to expose this whole ordeal. And we've been on the right side of history this whole time with the facts, the circumstances, and the indisputable facts. And we haven't been able to, find Vitalik Buterin wherever he's hiding at, but you get metaphorically speaking, we've captured this whole thing. We got the whole story. We got the details and the evidence to back it up, and we've hand delivered it to our government. And we're asking, when subpoena of Gary Gensler? When are we going to get to the bottom of this Ethereum free pass? When is Bill Hinman ever going to be questioned for his role in this, the whole ordeal? And when the heck are we going to get regulations in a level playing field for digital assets in the United States? We're supposed to have the gold standard of capital markets, and Gary Gensler and gang have stifled this whole thing, but they've also made sure that their buddies have time to catch up and get paid on the back end. This is not how America is supposed to be operating. And right now, our community is about to be the darling of Wall Street, with Ripple set to IPO here soon. We get the settlement in the SEC case, and we're off to the races. You already know the deal. We see a pump right now that's taking us from the rest of the space. We'll see if it lasts. Let me know in the comments down below if you think that this pump is going to continue or if this is a bull trap rally. If you appreciate the update, let's smash it. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. And like I said, we just dropped our first tactical wealth lesson. It's all at my website, zachrector.com. Let's get you tapped in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless you all.